Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long Blues 1975. A YouTuber's on the rise. Reviewing games and sometimes friends. But Long Blues 1975.
Hey YouTube, Numbers Post 1975 and welcome to another collection video. This is a collection that I was very much into basically about 10 or so years ago. Yeah, kind of in line with the start of my channel. I first started collecting Marvel Universe figures when I first had a YouTube channel, and some of my earlier videos were pickups involving them. Most of those, well, all of those are now gone because they had background noise and stuff like that in them, and during the many ad apocalypses and copyright debacles and stuff like that, I trimmed some of my videos out. So my Marvel Universe pickup videos kind of got lost along the way, which is a shame because I do remember that for whatever reason the local Asda was selling them at £2.50 a pop, and they were the then latest phase of Marvel Universe figures, and I managed to pick up two Cable with Baby Hope figures. They normally go for about £10, £11, £12, or did so back then because they are discontinued. And that really upsets me greatly when it comes to collecting action figures, because for their price, and you'll get to see them, don't worry, you'll get to see them, their level of detail, and point of articulation, outright packaging and things like that made them very appealing. They weren't like the cheap shit ones you get aimed at kids, but they weren't like Marvel, because they're made by Hasbro, these obviously, and Hasbro do it as well. Is it Hasbro's Marvel Black Series, where I first of all think that the entire range of those figures have butt ugly head sculpts, but also I don't want to pay that level of price for a figure, but I want something slightly better than the entry level ones you would get that were clearly aimed at kids. To put that into perspective for what I paid for these 10 or so years ago, obviously inflation plays a key in there somewhere, I guess. And don't get me wrong, I like these. This is my new collection of figures because they remind me very much of Secret Wars, but this is a £10 figure. Have a look at the level of detail on it and the points of articulation, which I guess points of articulation is technically a moot point for me because I don't open these things. These things, I had to dig them out of storage. They could do with a bit more of a wipe down. I'm not sure how you get dust on stuff when it's been sealed in boxes for the last sort of 3 to 4 years. It's because I ran out of storage space in my game room and sacrificed their space on the shelves I have for Back to the Future stuff and Funkos. But I sank so much of my time into these back in the day, and I have particularly fond memories of them for the the interaction I had with other YouTubers, particularly ones in Canada and America, and trading them and stuff like that in videos that I made. That yeah, it's a warm fuzzy part of my channel, YouTube channel history as well. That they will go back on display. I don't know what they go for now. Some of the rare ones. I don't know what if there's even a market for them. There's got to be a used market. There's a used market for all action figures. But these, I'm going to clean them up properly, and then they're going to go back on display when my new shelves arrive, because I have a bunch of them coming, because I think, to be honest, my collection needs a big clean out anyway, and stuff like that, just to sell on, because some stuff I just aren't interested in anymore. But these are not some of those things. So yeah, broke them out of storage because I know that Connor, who I work with, said he was interested in seeing the Marvel Universe figures I have, because I've talked to him about them. I don't think he knew they were a thing, and we talk about the MCU and stuff like that quite a lot. And a phrase he's sick of me hearing is saying, yeah, but you never read the comics, when he talks about people's level of powers and stuff like that in some of the Marvel comics and some of the MCU movies. And I said, no, not accurate, don't like it because it's not accurate. And he goes, well, why not? Because you've never seen the comics or read the comics. I know that's a stupid thing to say, but yeah. So some of these I got from just buying in supermarkets. Some, one or two, I can't remember, I literally ordered off Amazon, and the rest were trades, which was kind of cool. I think only a couple of trades, but I do remember helping other people out by sending them Marvel Universe figures. Now, Marvel Universe figures kicked in 2009 from best I can tell, and then ran for 20, maybe 22 waves of figures. I don't know, I'm sure there are die-hard people out there, but I just bought the figures that I like based on the characters that I like based on the comics that I read, or used to read I should say, because Marvel Universe comics right now are just a massive woke pile of shite. And there's no way I'd start reading them again. Back issues, however, and my own rather large substantial collection of back issues, that's something else I do very much still enjoy. Right, so number one would be Bucky Barnes. Some of these have got a bit of damage, which annoys me because that's the only way or the condition I found them in. But yeah, and they do need a bit more of a wipe down. But yeah, so the first one I got was Bucky Barnes, World War II. Bucky Barnes, do like that. Does this determine the wave? Or the allegiance, or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, the other thing was the the nice figure. Pinch from a. Well, it was the same artist, I believe, who drew all of these here, so it's not actually referenced from a comic book or anything like that. But yeah, you got Bucky Barnes with a Tommy gun. You're probably thinking, you're not a Bucky Barnes fan, are you? I like Winter Soldier, but if I had a Captain America, I had to have this. And then you get a little feature on the back of some of the other figures that were associated with this one, and whether or not that would be in the same sort of range or I guess affiliation, despite the fact that Bucky Barnes, it's got to be range, hasn't it, because you've got Thor on the back there. Now I'm pretty sure I've got almost all of these, but take that with a pinch of salt. This one's got battle damage, which I will have to fix, but this was sent to me all the way from Canada, and it's Red Hulk, because I love me some Hulk. We have my favourite Hulk in here, so I won't mention that right now. I like Red Hulk because he's a Hulk figure. When it came to the whole comic book thing, you know, in the sort of, 2010s, early 2010s or whatever, the whole Red Hulk thing just got out of hand and I thought was absolutely ridiculous and stupid. A way overpowered Hulk who turned out to be, sorry, spoilers, what's her name? Betty's dad. I'm having a complete brain fart. Thunderbolt. You know the one I mean. Sorry, apologies, but turned out to be him. Don't know how he became Red Hulk, don't care. Was sent it because I love Hulk figures, but he's a beauty of a figure. Look, man, and this is what I mean about the attention to detail for these characters. And as far as I can tell, the bigger characters like this weren't even, or weren't more expensive than the regular one. So yeah, that one's going to have to take a little bit of TLC to fix. But yeah, Red Hulk. Not the best Hulk, but he's Hulk, and I like Hulk. Then we have, this is Captain America. Someone I work with found it out back in a like on top of a shelf somewhere, all dusty, and knew that I just started collecting Marvel Universe figures, and that's World War II Cap. Again, World War II Cap. Let's put that in perspective for, this was a tenner figure. This is an early phase. Obviously you can tell it's World War II Cap because he's got the shield. It's not made out of vibranium or anything, but yeah. Do you see what I mean? About attention to detail and what you got and points of articulation for the same price. That's why I miss these. I don't know if they got rid of them because maybe they were biting into the sales of the more expensive stuff like that, or just their sales figures declined. I honestly don't know. If anyone knows, please let me know down below. But like I said, I don't think there's anything for the price that is anywhere near as good as these were. Green Goblin, because I'm a massive Spider-Man fan. I got two of these at the time. I think this was one of the ones I managed to pick up for £2.50. But I got like a whole bunch of them, you know, like I said, with the baby Cable with Baby Hope figure from a local Asda. But yeah, I sent a spare one of these as a trade to David Lee T, whose channel sadly, well, it's still around, he just doesn't add content to it, which is a shame. And he sent me back Punisher, I believe. Anyway, the next one is Gladiator, so hopefully we'll be seeing him in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but an insanely powerful, is he like Hulk level powerful, Superman powerful? He's the elite guard of the Shire Empire, you know, from Starjammers and stuff like that. But yeah, people always find it surprising that I like him. Of course I like him. I like X-Men. This was a cool one. As soon as I saw this, I actually bought it off Amazon. I think this may have cost me about 15 or so pounds. But I had to have it because I'm a massive fan of Cable, and that's Cable with Baby Hope. There were two of these figures. There was Cable with Baby Hope and there was Cable without Baby Hope. Never saw him without Baby Hope. That's obviously based on a storyline, because that's what I like about these figures. They cover all some of the older, you know, more important storylines, and they came right up to then, up to date with some of the newer stuff, such as World War Hulk and Planet Hulk and stuff like that, that I absolutely love. So there was a real kind of mixed bag, but in a good way, that there was something for everyone dependent upon what you liked about, you know, your Marvel characters. absolutely love Cable, you know, obviously, without going into too much information, but he's Scott and Madeline Pryor's son and was essentially going to be the most powerful mutant ever created by Mr. Sinister to bring down Apocalypse until Apocalypse infected him with a techno-organic virus that he had to use his vast telekinesis to keep at bay, hence the fact that he's got an organic cybernetic arm. And yeah, just thought I'd give you all that. Absolutely fantastic figure. So I got one of them for, you know, buying off Amazon for, you know, a reasonable chunk of money, and then I found another one. It's in this pile somewhere that was £2.50. Here's a great one. This is Hulk's son from Planet Hulk, Scar. This is what I mean about the variety of figures that you have. He's a bigger figure as well, if you can see that. Like I said, these need a proper clean, but now that I'm going to redisplay them again, they will be getting that. But like I said, a whole bunch of people, not just Colin, are interested in me showing these because they remember it from the early days, those who stuck with my channel for 10 years, which is mind-blowing that there are people out there like that. But yeah, Scar, who was the son of Hulk. Now, this is one that I got, like I said, I got from a trade with, pretty sure it's from a trade with David Lee T. But I had to have it because I'm a massive fan. And at the time I was reading Punisher, Max, and yeah, Punisher, fantastic figure. This is probably not as good detail or sculpt as some of the Marvel Universe stuff, but it's Punisher. Had to have Punisher, and I was very much into Punisher Max at the time, which in itself got rebooted and became weak and crap. But this is obviously not Punisher Max, but it's Punisher. I love Punisher, and it came all the way from the United States. Now, here's one that's a no-brainer because it's Wolverine, and I love Wolverine. Again, are these to do with the Wave or Allegiance? And I forgot to mention, you do get a little bio on the back. But the United States ones, or North American ones, you had a bio all in English. These get very small ones, and it's little chunks, or, you know, just literally, Wolverine, he's an X-Man and stuff like that, so you can cover all the languages of the EU at the time, which I always found annoying, because I always thought the North American ones not having that were brilliant. Some of these are a little banged up, worse for wear, but that's the nature of buying a lot of them in supermarkets where kids utterly destroy them. But the first appearance of Wolverine, which is 181 of the Incredible Hulk, where he fights the Wendigo and the Hulk, and he's got little whiskers on his mask. And another one, which if you're old school like me when it comes to reading Hulk, obviously this was through reprints and reissues, so I don't think I would have been alive when it first came out, but that was Doc Samson, who obviously tried to cure Bruce Banner by siphoning the gamma radiation out of him and then putting it into himself, because he was like a, you know, a doctor, but an incredibly talented and intelligent one, but a weakling, and then it turned him into a gamma powered, but gave him long green hair, superhero as such. But the Hulk still kicked his ass when the Hulk got so angry, or Banner got so hungry? That'd be an awesome Hulk. Fatty Hulk got so angry that he, you know, he re-triggered his transformation and they threw down. But yeah, had to have that because I like my Hulk. I like Doc Samson. Obviously, as an X-Man fan, when this showed up, and this is one of the more impressive ones for size and sculpt. Again, some of these need a proper wipe down. Again, how do you get covered in dust when you've been sealed in a box with silicone gel? I don't know. But of all the figures I've seen out there of Apocalypse, including the Builder-figure ones where you get a piece of him in a whole bunch of other, you know, figures and stuff like that out there, I think this is the best looking Apocalypse. I really do. Best story ever featured Apocalypse was The Age of Apocalypse, where he finally got killed by Magneto, with a little help from X-Man. And then we have Spider-Woman in her original costume, which I got because it was the costume I remember from a very short run animated TV show on it that was shown when I came home from school in the 80s. We're talking primary school here, so up to the ages no later than me being 12 on children's BBC or something. And so I always have an attachment to the original costume. Plus, she's been given quite chunky power upgrades over the years, hasn't she? She can put pheromones out now and make anyone fall in love with her, and ultimately manipulate them. Now, here's a cool one. Spider-Man 2099. Soft spot for Spider-Man 2099. I don't think the comic ran that long. He has since been featured in What Ifs and stuff like that, and other stories and that, but his initial run in the 2099 universe was quite short, but I always quite liked him. I always really quite liked him, and also his costume is badass, but then also he can fly, so kind of web swinging and stuff like that. I don't know. But also he appeared in Spider-Man Web of Destiny. What was the Spider-Man get? Shattered Dimensions. have that on the 360, have that on the Wii. That is an absolute fantastic game when you play different variants of the Spider-Mans, because the universes are all shattered, such as Amazing Spider-Man from the Ultimate Universe, Spider-Man Noir, which is basically Metal Gear Solid Spider-Man. This isn't a video game video, I understand that. Spider-Man 2099, and yeah, here we go, Doctor Strange. I like Doctor Strange in comic form, especially the hand he played in, World War Hulk and stuff like that with the Illuminati. Yeah, and I liked it as a comic book. It's a kid. I know this is going to sound stupid. Can watch the movies because they star Benedict Cumberbatch and, yeah, actors who start trying to tell other people how to live their lives because they aren't intelligent enough to do it for themselves. Us, the public, basically, because apparently our political stances are all wrong. We don't know what we should be doing. Yeah, I will cut my nose off to spite my face and not watch them in their projects then. I only watched Endgame and that and those sort of movies because I had to. But a movie full of him by himself, I just look at him and just think, you condescending, hypocritical twat. But that's just me. You can argue that quite a lot about actors these days, but there you go. Here we go, Angel. I would have preferred Archangel, but I never saw, or Archangel, I never saw an Archangel, but we have the original Warren, what's his name? Not Warren Beatty, Warren, I'm having a brain fart. I should stop making videos when it's really, really late at night. But yeah, but I had to have him because I like the lineup, the original X-Men, and I really tried to get some more of them. But just certain ones, without me going on Amazon, that I didn't want to do, just never showed up in my neck of the woods. But this is a very nice figure. Again, there was an Archangel, I believe, or Archangel, I should say. I keep forgetting how to pronounce that. Again, is this the wave or phase of figures that they came in? Because it's just a comic book there. But we go back to this, which is Captain Marvel, because ignore Brie Larson, again an actress who should shut up and stop telling the rest of us how to live our life, because apparently she doesn't make movies for us. Key demographic of the movie audience right here, Brie. But never mind. But a long time ago in the 70s, stuff like that, I absolutely, again through reprints, loved Captain Marvel, and yeah, this is an absolutely fantastic figure. Plus this is the spoilers, and it was way ahead of its time back then. He died from cancer, didn't he? Now this was another trade, but I think this was from inside this country and came from someone else who no longer makes YouTube videos, which is very, very sad. And that would be Bullseye Daredevils. Before they kind of put him into that, they redid him, didn't they? So he had to take on the form or appearance of Colin Farrell from the Daredevil movie. They kind of rebooted the character and gave him that appearance, which I actually like that movie. Just saying, director's cut is better. But yeah, so this is him in his original comic book form. But yeah, Daredevil. He's got guns and shit here, but then he's basically, anything that is in his hands becomes a weapon. So it'd be very interesting to see who would win in a fight between him and Hawkeye, because Hawkeye has the same ability, doesn't he? But yeah, so this came from Devil's Toys UK 2, who no longer has a YouTube channel, which is very sad. And, ooh, duplicate. When did that happen? Didn't know I had a duplicate of that. Then we have, obviously I have to have this, Mainstream Universe, although his costume's a bit different, but he's marketed as Mainstream Universe. Spider-Man. Obviously I had to have Spider-Man. I would, got Spider-Man 2099. Can't not have this in my collection. Don't know why I talk like William Shatner then. Then another Hulk one, which is my favourite Hulk of all time. I loved it when Tom McFarlane drew. It was a Hulk who he transformed because of night, didn't he? Was it the full moon? Depends on who wrote him. And it was based on one of the shattered personalities, based on Bruce Banner's college, like a pleasure-seeking sort of person. His sort of era of his life, and that became one of his like shattered personalities and stuff. The whole Professor Hulk thing and stuff like that, which wasn't actually Bruce Banner's intellect in the end. The movie got it wrong. It was another personality, but that would be, yeah, I love Joe Fixit Hulk, Grey Hulk. Not as powerful, but retains more intelligence than a Green Hulk, and was like a mafia gangster boss for a while. These are some of the bigger ones again. But yeah, Grey Hulk, very, very happy to have that in my collection because I love Grey Hulk. We're finally getting towards the end. Duplicates! Cable with Baby Hope. I think I got that initially just as a trader, but then I thought, no, I'm not getting rid of it because, you know what? Obviously, I got a complete lack of Fantastic Four stuff here, but did come across Doctor Doom, whom I love, because Doctor Doom is basically, he's another one. He doesn't really have superpowers. He's tech powered and stuff like that, but he's essentially the most intelligent person in the Marvel universe. He's like more intelligent than, well, it's arguable between him and Reed Richards, Tony Stark, Banner, but he's pretty much the most intelligent bad guy, and he's a ruler, you know, like a despot, if you will, with his own nation. But yeah, Doctor Doom, had to have Doctor Doom. Oh my god, the Fantastic Four movies, Doom's depictions were fucking awful, weren't they? We'll save Scarlet Spider-Man, sorry, spoilers, for last, but here we go. Falcon. Because when I read Captain America, I found a whole bunch of them in the 80s that were from the 70s, from a junk shop when we used to go on holiday in Devon to this place in Westward Ho, and I bought them, and they were all Captain America and the Falcon, and it was that uniform, and yeah, I just because of that, and the, you know, the fun I had reading those old back issues and stuff like that got me into Captain America, and obviously the Falcon. Again, enjoyed the first, if you see my Funko collection, the first few episodes of the Winter Soldier and the Falcon, and then obviously once again, because it's Disney, it got woke. Oh, penultimate, World War Hulk, Beast. Look at that, Beast. I don't have a regular Hulk, which is a shame and shocking for me, but I've got my favourite Hulk. I've got Grey Hulk, but World War Hulk. Look at the detail on that. You know, in his gladiator costume and weapons and stuff like that. That is an absolutely fantastic figure. So it was Grey Hulk and Red Hulk that came from Canada for me. Now this is one I bought in an Asda, and it was just by accident, or good fortune I would say. That's why I really need to clean these up, get them ready to be displayed again. Because yeah, these just got put away, like I said, for the anyone who knows this, who has various collections, and that's outside of video gaming. If you don't want to know how much of my fucking place is taken up with room, or room is taken up with displaying just console, and not just displaying, but like stacking games and having, you know, working consoles and stuff like that, can swap in and out. You add extra collections like that, and you'll understand that space really does become a premium, which is why this got kind of mothballed for a bit, and also because, sorry Marvel, but if it comes to a fight between who gets the remaining space out of Back to the Future and you, it's Back to the Future. But yeah, Scarlet Spider from the whole clone saga, spoilers, he wasn't the original Peter Parker after all. So anyway, it's Ben Reilly. Now what's cool about this is, if you look very carefully at the stand in there, this is what we like to call a factory error. So it's got the wrong stand. It's Scarlet Spider with Doctor Strange's stand. So even if I did open my action figures, which I do not, I would not open that. It's a factory error. It's funny, when I was talking to Connor about this, it worked. And it was like, I just explained to him what factory error was, and then he typed into his phone, factory errors, you know, worth anything. And I think the first post was, no, they're not. I call bullshit on that. I mean, some things is only worth as much as someone's prepared to pay for it, but I know people who lose their shit over factory errors because it makes it one of a kind. It may not literally just be one of a kind. There might be a few that have the same fault, but you know what I mean. It makes it far more exclusive by sheer accident than a whole bunch of other figures out there that exist. So this was just a quick show and tell video of another one of the collections that I have that I'm going to clean up, and once I get my shelves in, display again. Maybe I'll put some pictures on Facebook for those of you who follow me on Facebook once I get that going, because yeah, I again, not only because it coincided with the start of my channel, so I kind of have a little bit of nostalgia and crossover with that. Yeah, I still love them, but they don't make them anymore, and it's, like I said, it's disappointing because I think they're so much better than half the shit that Marvel or Hasbro and Marvel put out there, especially for the price, and especially if you don't want to go sky high in the prices, because like I said, Black Series figures, the big ones, I don't think look particularly great anyway, certainly not for that price. So yeah, I have a massive nostalgia for these many of these stories in Marvel Comics as well, on non-woke Marvel, and yeah, like I said, crossover with my channel, the fact that I loved Marvel, I love these characters, I love toys, and I generally really enjoy collecting these so much that yeah, they deserve the respect they once had again. So anyway, if you enjoy seeing some more of these collection videos other than video game videos, because you might be surprised, what I have, because I am a die-hard collector in a great many fields, not just action figures, just not just video games, but you know, all Back to the Future, then let me know, because I do enjoy mixing up my content from time to time. And anyway, as always, if you know more about the Marvel Universe figures than I do, which is probably a no-brainer, because you know most people do, put down below, like, you know, why they got stopped. Were they, you know, was it cutting into other figures, or you know, lines, money, or stuff like that? Or did it just stop being, profitable, or they dropped off, you know, as a natural process, or other reasons? And did you collect them back then? Do you love them as much as me? Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you later.